Hi, welcome to Awake TV. So today we're going to be talking about creating a new holiday tradition or creating new tradition. So since a lot of us are ascending or spiritually awakening, or some of you guys are finding out the truth, they are not all the same meaning. Actuarians are saying like finding out what's going on out there doesn't mean you're spiritually awakened. However, that's a beginning stage of started to getting interested into some part of the truth you weren't really open to it before, like open toward a more galactic being or Actuarians or stuff like that. But anyhow, so So a lot of people are feeling loneliness during this time, maybe more than ever because of the current situation, or because you are no longer resonating with the family or friends, or you might be alone in your, by yourself in the foreign country, you're away from your family, stuff like that. So we want to suggest what you can do to enjoy your holiday seasons. So, according to statistics I read a couple of years ago, during the holiday seasons, people tend to kill themselves. And for the light workers, this is what I'm gonna tell you guys. Killing yourself doesn't mean you're completing your missions. You have to do it all over again. So you're this close finishing it. So I recommend do not do that, right? But we can start creating new tradition to enjoy your holiday. So what is the idea, Sue?
Well, as everybody knows, or anybody that's been listening to us for a while, I have moved to Florida, my family, well, part of my family. And so this year we're going to do some new traditions. Obviously, I miss my sister and her family. I miss my oldest son who's on Long Island. And I won't be getting together with those folks this year. And so what are we going to do to make things, cheery and enjoy these moments? Because I'm with my husband and my youngest son here, and he misses his girlfriend. She's not here. She's still in New York. So, it's going to be an adaptation for all of us.
Mhm.
And I'm also thinking about the people who are no longer really fitting into their family units anymore. And so, they didn't make a move across country like I did, but I'm seeing so many people talking about how they just don't jive with their family anymore, and or they get together with their family and they can't speak their truth because everybody looks at them like they're crazy, and so they just feel this loneliness because of their inability to have people around them that they can speak their truth with.
Mhm.
And as you said, the holidays tend to be a time anyway where people get kind of desperate out of loneliness. So I think this topic is hopefully going to help people, um, in the sense that if you can create your own unique new tradition, whatever that may be. Maybe you met some people recently and they like to play cards. So you get together and you do that, or be interested in swapping recipes with people, and then maybe doing like a baking session on Zoom together, so you're not actually in a kitchen together and going to do a cookie swap when you're done, but you could hang out together and talk as you're going through and baking your cookies. We're going to go to the beach on Christmas, and I'm totally wicked excited about it because I've never done that. And we're going to play some beachy games and bring our chairs and just hang out and enjoy the smell of the ocean and the waves. And we're going to bring a packed lunch, so we're going to bring our coolers and that sort of thing. And so for us, that'll be a new tradition.
Mhm.
And I don't know what next year will bring. I mean, hopefully I'll be with those family members I mentioned earlier next year. And if not, we'll see, we'll see what we thought about spending Christmas Day on the beach and whether we're going to do it again or try something completely new. But I think what I'm trying to get at is that this year in particular feels like, because of the ascension, because of the shift that's happening, because of the truth that's coming out, more and more people seem to feel isolated. Um, I've seen some light workers lately talking about really wanting to go home, which I think I take that to mean as transition, because they miss their spirit family. And like you said, Erica, we're like this close to being to the actual shift where the truth is coming out. More and more people are going to know it. Paradigms are shifting, systems are shifting. Life is going to get really, really good. And if we could just hang on a few minutes longer, a few days longer, even if it takes a few months longer, I mean, I'm praying that everybody can find a way to do that. And I hope that creating their own new traditions, even if you are on your own on that day, you're a sacred being, and find whatever floats your boat and do that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I had to tell you guys, you don't get to go home if you feel yourself. Okay. Because I did listen to all this regression from the client, and then sometimes they kill themselves, and then when they happen to be a light worker or star seed and they are on mission, but they choose to do that, that means you're aborting the mission. So, those of you who are in military, you understand what I mean. So when you abort the mission, that is unsuccessful mission. So they tell you to go do it again. Like, okay, if you couldn't do it as much as you wanted to do, that's fine. You're still successful. Or you think you couldn't do at all you did was existed on this planet, and you think you're total failure, you are still succeeded, because we do need your vibration, because all of us do have such a unique frequency, and by us existing here means a lot more than you ever know. So that is very important. I was told by Astor, I got to stay, that was a few years ago. He was telling me I got to stay where I'm at, means whichever the timeline I was at, of the whatever the frequency of the timeline, right? And then you had to stay where you are at right now for the collective. I wasn't really happy about the answer, but I know what he meant. So like, like some of you guys feel really, really lonely. Like I was at the clubhouse last Friday and talking about how do you spend the holiday? Like other people wanted to talk about this topic because they're lonely, right?
Mhm.
And how do you spend the holiday on your own and still enjoy about it? And my suggestion is, number one, do not compare yourself with other people. When you look at other people and other people are spending holiday with family, you started to feel really, really sad about why am I by myself or something like that. So don't do that, first of all. And number two, if you have a friends, who are like you, and then just get together, right? Get together to do something. Or you can get together online too, if you cannot really get together in person. That's my next suggestion. Or, you don't even have that. You only have a cat or a dog. That's fine. You get to have your holiday with cat or dog. And if you don't even have that cat or dog, and if you are like the gifted person like me who can talk and see your guide, you get to have a holiday with your guide. Your friend doesn't have to be someone who is earth body and existed. You can invite all of your angels and your Arcturian families and Pleiadian families, and then you get to have family holiday with them. You know they're there. Other people don't see, but who cares, right? You can do that. I did that a couple of years ago. So once you started to awakening, your loneliness isn't that obvious anymore because you know you're always surrounded by angels or Jesus or your star families. They are always next to you. Could be your dead family, right? They are always next to you. So you are not alone. And when
Mhm.
you come to this understanding, you get to spend your family more spiritual manner. Doesn't mean they have to actually have flesh and their body next to you. They have their ethereal body next to you and they spend the time with you. So technically you're not alone. So I
Right.
want you guys to understand that. So
Mhm.
you can start having that kind of a tradition. Like other people, they decided to go on. I know right now it's difficult, but other people decided to go on like having a traveling. So they go to like a hiking or they go to foreign country or something like that. So instead of like doing traditional Christmas stuff or New Year stuff, they spend their time on sightseeing so they can forget about them being them by themselves. That's another way you can do.
You know, I liked what you said about comparing to other people because I'll say this for myself. I have had holidays where I've just been completely surrounded by lots of people and felt completely alone. And, you know, it's- usually it's something I'm going through that I can't share, or maybe it's just maybe the people that are around me wouldn't understand, or doesn't get into the topics that I'm interested in. I think it's almost worse to be surrounded by people that you can't relate to than it is to be by myself. And so I just want to throw that out there because the one great advantage to doing things on your own is you get to be your own boss and totally pick and choose what you feel like doing that day or you don't feel like doing that day. And so there's some real upsides
It
to
is.
being on your own. You get to be the total decider of what's going on that day instead of having to coordinate and go along with what everybody else wants to do.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it could be a little bit easier, I think.
If you're very social and you're okay with complete strangers, you don't even have a friend, like you go to meet up or something and do Christmas and you enjoy, you can do that too. But
Mhm.
if you get to feel, really tired by surrounded by so many strangers and you have to pretend like happy and that tires you, I mean, spending a holiday on your own is a lot more relaxing than do that.
Yeah, and there's also volunteering. I'm not quite established here where I am, and so I don't know a lot of the places that are around. I probably could have gotten more familiar with it. I just things have been so busy with the move, but I think by this time next year, I'm going to be really, really ready to do some volunteer work, serving people that are hungry, or you know, church organization that has a free meal, that sort of thing, or setting up for a Christmas pageant, or helping deliver toys for tots, whatever. You get the idea of what I'm saying, which is you can meet some amazing soul family by doing that sort of work. And
Yeah.
in the meantime, you get that wonderful feeling of just being around other humans and having that shared experience of we're doing this for the holiday, we're together for the holiday, so you're not alone at all.
And also, like, I don't know, they're doing it this year or last year, but they used to be doing the, the volunteer work for the homeless. Means you go to Catholic church, and I used to go to Catholic church in the downtown, not the downtown, but 14th or 16th Street, I forgot which. But that church, they do like Christmas serving for the homeless.
Mhm.
So we get to volunteer to help to serve food, for them. And that's something you can do for a couple of hours. There are so many people there, or like even Thanksgiving. Like I used to do that for Jewish elderly people or something like that. Like you get to like bring food for them and stuff like that. So I mean, there are so many like volunteer work in meetup and the stuff. I don't know if they still do that this year or last year, but
Mhm.
they do have stuff like that. You get to involve, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, when my dad lived in assisted living, he was there for 4 years before he passed away. It just broke my heart. I'd go to see him regularly. I mean, several times a week, and the people that live there, the elderly that don't have anybody to come visit, it's sad. And so there were times where I'd sit at his table with him, and then I'd talk to other people, for a meal, or I'd bring things in, or they would have activities going on. And so I wouldn't just talk to my dad, I would talk to other people that were there. And that brought me a lot of joy because, I mean, we're all family in the end. We're all brothers and sisters coming from the same source. And so, um, I think whenever we have an opportunity to reach out and touch somebody, not physically necessarily, but maybe, but what I'm saying is touch them emotionally and let them know, I see you. Um, I'm interested in your life and or what you have to say about this, or if there's an activity where they're creating something. So I mean, there's homeless shelters, there's um, nursing homes, there's animal shelters, there's just so many different um, creatures on this earth. I don't want to just say humans because the animals, they need comfort and love too.
oh
Uh,
yeah.
so many different ways to connect. If we just, step out of our what our normal is and go ahead and try a new tradition. And that's that's what I got for you today. I hope it helps.
Yeah, I mean, we can be really creative to create like happy environment regardless of, you be with 20 of the families or on your own, or two or three of your friends and do your Christmas or whatever the religious holiday you guys are having. It's fine. And even if you have a family, you may not get along with the family. So like last time I was at the clubhouse, wow, the person who hopped in and started sharing his experience, he get to learn how to celebrate his holiday on his own. So one of the stuff I was talking about is like listening to podcasts, because so many people are talking on podcasts, and that's kind of like making you feel like you're part of it, right? So that's the
Yeah.
kind of things to, I mean, you can listen to us. We have plenty of episodes. But you know, you guys can do something like that, or you can hop into Clubhouse. Really, I mean, I'm pretty sure people are still doing Clubhouse during the Christmas, right? You can do that.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's
I like that shameless promo you put in there. Let's just stick with that, It's I
yeah.
was listening to some I've as you know, I like listening to Tarot by Janine, and the other day I was kind of bored at work. I thought, I need something new to listen to. And so what I did was I actually went to her YouTube channel and I went back like 2 years, and I thought, wonder what she was saying back then. And I listened to a couple episodes, you know, the older ones, and
Um,
it's quite entertaining, you know. And I thought, geez, what's it going to be like when people listen to our shows, you know, if they do 2 years from now? It's going to be like, people are going to
yeah.
go, well, no, no kidding, right? Because all this stuff we talk about is going to be kind of common sense by then. But still fun, still
It
entertaining.
is.
And yeah, there's so many. I like Joe Rogan too. He interviews the most interesting people, and he's such a good interviewer. So there's a podcast I'd recommend. Do you have, what's your favorite podcast?
I listened to the shift, and then I just discovered the Christine Data's podcast now. I used to
Nice.
listen to her blog radio. Now she shifted to a podcast. So I do listen to that. Um,
Or
yeah.
if you want to laugh your butt off, go on YouTube and watch John Panette. He's my favorite comedian. He's passed on now, but oh my gosh, one of the funniest people I've ever, you know, like sometimes it's just great to laugh, you
Oh
know, or
yeah.
find your favorite comedian and start watching you know, the YouTubes, or if you have the CDs or whatever. Um, go back and revisit movies that meant something to you that you love. Whatever it is that has the magic that you need, whether you need a, you know, a tearjerker love story, or you need a Christmas carol that talks about family unity and helping each other out in charity to your fellow humans, or you just need a good belly laugh, you know, whatever that is, there's so much out there.
And if you
Um,
guys love a love story, I recommend this omnibus thing, Holiday. Um, I think there are Jude Law's in it and
say
Kate
it one more time.
Holiday, the Holiday. Jude
Oh,
Law is
the
in it.
holiday. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
okay.
one is I watched a couple of times. They're pretty, you know, it's nice story to watch,
Cool.
definitely. But you know, you can do so many things. I just discovered this YouTuber Chucky. She's a Japanese woman, but she doesn't talk. All she does is like cooks, and there's a cat, and she has a room, and then she cooks really, really like intricate meal, but everybody's saying, "Oh, watching her because it's a similar to Amshar." So people are saying like, "Wow, watching you is such a like healing." And then a lot of people watching us. She has almost like 1 million people. I mean,
Hmm.
I kind of watched a couple of episodes, and I'm thinking, oh, I kind of understand why people are saying that.
Yeah, I've been watching the holiday baking shows. I think it's the Great British Bake Show or whatever. It's the one that's available on Netflix, because I don't have cable TV and all of that. I don't have time for it anyway. But anyway, the Great British Bake Off, I think it's called. And so they have like holiday baking. It is, I'm never going to get to the level of baking that these folks do. I mean, they understand ingredients I've never even heard of and how to use them. But there's just something really aesthetically pleasing to watch, and it's lighthearted competition too. Like they support each other. Obviously, each one of them wants to win. Only one person can win, but it's kind of heartening to see them support one another through the competition. And of course, it's fun to watch the judges
Yeah.
talk about the baked goods and everything. So, well, we hope we've given you guys some good ideas on
Mhm.
how to, you know, stave off loneliness, create new traditions, and, you know, above all, just be really, really good to yourself.
Yes, loving yourself is a key. So Sue and I are gonna bring more interesting topic next week, and I see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.